Welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to be on day 3 of our 12 days of Christmas, and we are going to make this these pom-poms. Now this is a snowman that I put together, and I left a tail on here. You could tie this to a gift. It could become an ornament. It could go on top of a hat if you wanted, but you would have to take it off due to the items that are on here are not washable, but it would be super cute if you remembered to tie this in such a way that you could take it off. It has a little top hat here. This was made out of some thicker felt so that it will hold up and withstand the shape. And then I just put some of these commercially made pom-poms on as nose and a mouth. Today we are going to make the same idea, except we're going to use red yarn today and try to make a snowman. So stay tuned and we will get started. So some things you're going to need to do this project is a pom-pom maker. Now you can buy a fancy one like this. This is from the Clover brand. It opens up like this, and we'll be using this today in the tutorial. But you could use, you know, go old school on it and just cut a piece of cardboard and make your pom-poms that way. Whichever way you make your pom-poms is perfectly fine. And you just make them any size you want. This one happens to be a larger size, but you can make them in any size you would like. You're going to need some scissors. You're going to need a glue gun and glue sticks. You're going for this one, we're going to do the Santa, so you're going to need black and yellow felt. And you'll also need your red yarn. Now again, you can just use any colors you want and make them into different pom-poms or different. This is just the 2 characters that I picked for this, but you could make them in any colors you wanted and do the same thing. Alright, so let's get our workspace ready and we will make this pom-pom. Okay, so as I said before, you are going to need a pom-pom maker. Now this one opens up like this, and we are going to be wrapping the yarn around the ends here. And then what happens is once the yarn is wrapped a bunch of times on here, you will then close these up like this. And then you will use this as your guide to snip the ends open. And then you tie a piece of yarn to secure it, and then this will then you open them back up, and the pom-pom maker opens, and you can take your pom-pom out and fluff it and do the next step. So that's what we're going to do first. So we're going to take the pom-pom maker, and like I said, you take whatever pom-pom maker you have. There's many different styles and companies that make them, and like I said, cardboard old school is just as good. And you're going to take your yarn, and I'm going to hold this, and this part gets a little tricky because you got to just make sure that you're getting it as even as possible when you're wrapping it. And I'm right-handed, so I'm going to turn this around, and I like to keep the one end closed just so that I got something really to hold on to. Alright, so then we're going to take our yarn and we're just going to make our pom-pom here. Doesn't really matter where you stick that because we can adjust that. And then while you're wrapping, you just want to try to make these be, if you're using one of these, you want to make these be as even as you can. You know, if it's not, it doesn't have to be perfect. And then we're just going to wrap, and we just keep wrapping and wrapping and wrapping and wrapping until we get this full to the desired amount that we would like to make the pom-pom look full. If you are using one of these, just be careful and go a little slower around the edges so you can make sure that you get that yarn in there really good. Alright, so I'm going to keep wrapping this side, and I'll meet you back here when we're done. Alright, so I've just about got as much as I want to wrap on here. Just make sure if you're using one of these by Clover, that you wrap it as evenly as possible. So what you're going to do now that you have the desired amount of wraps on there, you're just going to close this shut like this. And now we're going to snip our yarn, and then we will move on to the other side. Alrighty. So now we will open up the other side and we will continue just like this side. Over here I will wrap this up and get it as close to that as possible, and then we will come back and I will show you the next step. Alright, so I'm going to close this up right here because I am at my stopping point. I'm going to clip my yarn, and then we can go ahead and move that yarn out of the way. Okay, whoops, sorry, Snowman. All right, so now this is what, if you're using one of these, this is what it will look like. The yarn is all wrapped around on either side. And so now what's going to happen is we're going to get our yarn one more time and just get us a nice little tail to tie this on. So I'm going to cut me a piece. I like to have an extra long piece. That's just my preference. So however long you need it for you. Really depends on what you're going to use it for. If you're going to use it for a hat, you might want it a little longer. So it really just depends. So now, if you're using one of these, this is how you would proceed. You're going to take the scissors, and sometimes because this is a little tight, it's a little tricky at first, but if you have a good, nice pair of sharp scissors, you can get it in there real good. So you're going to take your scissors and put them in this groove. You're just going to start snipping, and it's going to snip the yarn apart like so. It's a very satisfying sound there of cutting the yarn. So then it's going to spread it open like this, and you're going to do that on the other side also. Try not to pull too hard up when you're wiggling. If it's too tight, you're wiggling your scissors in there, just because you don't want that to come open, because right now there's nothing in there holding your pom-pom together. So if that comes apart, your yarn pieces are going to fly everywhere. Alright, so once you've done that, this is what it's going to look like. You have your pieces that stick out like that. It's going to kind of look like this. Kind of a little yarn pom-pom sandwich there. Ice cream type sandwich looking thing. Okay, so now we're going to take our yarn, our tail that we cut, and if you're using one of these, you're going to stick the yarn inside that groove there and make sure that it comes through all the way to the other side, and you want to pull it kind of tight. Now you don't want to pull so tight that you break the yarn, but we do want to pull it kind of taut so that way we can make sure we got a good hold on the pom-pom. And then you're just going to tie a knot. Again, pull it kind of tight, but not so tight that you break the yarn. I like to tie this 3 times just to make sure we have a good hold. So that's 2. And 3, like that. Alright, so now then all you have to do is pop this open. That's one side, and we'll go ahead and pop this side open. Oh, move my tail out of the way. Okay, so now they're both open. This is what it looks like. And then you just pull this apart, and out pops your pom-pom. And just put those back together and set that aside. So now, this is what you have. It left you with this cool looking red pom-pom. You could leave it like this, and it would be super cute for any purpose. But I like to make mine have a little bit of flair. So we are going to clean this little bad boy up, and I'll be right back. Alright, so once you have your pom-pom shaped the way you like it, we are going to, I just plugged in the glue gun so we can be all ready. We're going to take our felt, and I am going to cut a strip of this felt, and this will be for the belt of Santa. So, whoops, I got fuzzies. Okay, so I'm just going to cut, I just eyeball it here, just cut a little belt out of this felt. And I'm going to cut it the length, or this short width of the felt. That way I can make sure I have enough so that I don't have to fussy cut or fussy guess the size of the circumference around the pom-pom. I can just kind of wrap this around, and that will be great. Alright, so I have my strip here for the belt, and then we're going to take the piece of gold felt, gold colored felt, and I am going to cut a square, and I'm sure you can probably figure out where I'm going with this. I'm going to cut a square so that I can have a belt buckle for the Santa belt. Again, I'm just eyeballing this. It does not have to be super perfect. That is the glory of doing crafts. You can make them as perfect or unperfect as you would like. So then I'm going to just trim that up just a little bit. All right. And then I'm going to fold this in half. Oops, sorry. I'm going to fold this in half. And I'm going to make a slit. And then that's going to give me a way to get my scissors in there. And actually, I'm going to try to see if I can use my smaller scissors in there. And just cut out a hole, so that we have our opening for the belt buckle. Whoops, dropped it there. This is going to be so cute. Again, like I said, you could use this as an ornament on your tree. It could be, again, a gift topper, or like I said, on a hat, but you would have to take this off when you wash it because it's not necessarily washable. You know, you could tie it around a wine glass. The possibilities are endless, which is why I love it. So let me just clean up this bad boy, get rid of any fuzzies. Okay, so now we are going to, I'm going to check my glue gun and see if it's ready, and then we'll be right back for the finishing touches. Alright, so my glue gun is ready. So what I'm going to do is pick up the pom-pom and give it a nice little touch up there. Alright, so we got to figure out where you want to put this. Do you want to put it in the middle? Do you want to put it down here? I'm going to wrap mine toward the middle. So what I'm going to do is stick a little bead of glue right here on the end, that first end, just enough so that I can tack this down on the pom-pom where I want to start. So let's start right here. And just give that a little bit of touch there. Doesn't take much. And then we are going to wrap this around. And you can kind of use your hand to manipulate this around. And if you want, you can hold this up and check it. You can give it a little fluff, and when we're done here, we will fluff out all the stuff here. And then you're going to take another little bead of glue and tack that down. Hold it with your finger, get a good hold. Alright, so then I'm just going to take my scissors here and I'm going to fluff this out a little bit. It is a pom-pom after all. Alright, so then I'm going to lay him down for a minute, and I am going to put a little line of glue on either side of this little belt buckle. And stick this on our little guy here. Alright, kind of like decide where the other opposite side of the back is. So we're just going to shove this right in here like this. Oh, look how cute that is. Okay, so then this is, give it a second to dry, kind of push down, make sure it's stuck on there real good. And give them a little fluff. Get rid of that little stray little glue thing there. I'll just trim it off with my scissors. Alright, and there you go. He's a little snowman. He's super cute with our little, I'm sorry, this is Santa, not a snowman. Here's our little snowman and our little Santa balls. Super, super cute. So if you like this video, I'd be happy to follow you along and follow me along on this journey, I should say. And I'm so thankful that you are here with me and following along on these 12 days of Christmas. And if you did make one of these projects that we're making, I would love to see it. You can find all my information for my social media and where to post where you made what you made on my about page here on YouTube. And I will also put a link in the description box where you can find me at all over. And you can always send it to me at sewaathomeparty@gmail.com. And like I said, I'd love to see what you make, and if you give me permission, I'll even share some of those with the other people watching in a future video. But these are super cute. They will make great gifts, or even just keep for yourself. And I hope you enjoyed watching this, and I also hope you enjoy making them as much as I did. I love my little snowman and my little Santa belt. This is so super cute. So I will talk to you next time, and as always, so it is in your craft room today. Bye.